Imagine you are sitting in an AWS interview. The interviewer asks, your company want to deploy an application. Which AWS service would you choose? And you immediately say, AWS Lambda. The interviewer smiles. Why not ECS? You become silent. 5 minutes later, interview is over. The problem is not that you don't know AWS. The problem is you don't know when to use which AWS services. Today, I will teach you a simple framework. After this video, you will never confuse on ECS, Lambda, Lightsail, Elastic Beanstalk, and Batch. Again, let's begin. Imagine AWS is a big city. Different people need different vehicle. Would everyone buy a truck? No. Would everyone buy a motorcycle? No. Would everyone hire a taxi? No. AWS Compute Service are exactly the same. Different problem and different their solution. So first I discuss the service one, that is AWS Lambda. Imagine you need a taxi. You don't hire a driver. You simply call either it may be Ola, Uber or Rapido, anything, and reach your destination. And after that you just pay, that's done. That is called Lambda. No server, no maintenance, no patching, only upload code, AWS execute it. So it's best for firstly image processing, then API, then I can say the third point backend for mobile apps, file upload processing, email notification, schedule jobs, and you can say the advantage. If I'm talking about the advantage, then we can say no server management. No server management is required. It's auto scaling, very cheap, pay only when code runs. And what is the disadvantage? Yeah, maximum execution time. This is one of the disadvantage. The second, we can say that it is cold start problem. And thirdly, not suitable for wrong running application. So majorly this is the three disadvantage. What kind of interview question you face? So maybe interviewer ask you, when would you not use Lambda? So what would be your answer? Your answer should be, it is not perfect for video streaming, large application, gaming server, continuous background service. On that case, definitely Lambda is not the good solution. And now I move to the service 2, that is Amazon ECS. So imagine your application is inside Docker container. Now you need someone to manage thousands of containers. That's ECS. Think Docker plus ECS. And it's a best for microservice, REST API, Java Spring Boot, Node.js, .NET, containers. And what is the advantage? If I'm talking about the advantage, then easy Docker deployment. It's a really good advantage. High availability, auto scaling, works with Fargate, integrate with ALB. These are all the advantage. And now I am discussing the disadvantage of this. Need containers knowledge. Yes, if you don't have the container knowledge, then it's difficult. Networking is slightly complex, so networking knowledge is required. Learning curve is a little challenging. So these are the disadvantage. Now, what kind of interview question you may face? Maybe interviewer ask difference between ECS and Lambda. So simply Lambda runs function, whereas ECS runs container. This is the difference. Lambda runs functions, whereas ECS runs container. And now I move to the service 3, that is Elastic Beanstalk. So imagine buying a fully furnished apartment, which have electricity, water, furniture, everything ready. Just move in. Elastic Beanstalk is exactly that. Upload your code, AWS create on behalf of your that EC2, load balancer, auto scaling, CloudWatch, everything. And best for Java, Python, Node.js, PHP, .NET, Spring Boot. For all kind of applications, it's the best suite. What is the advantage? It's very easy. Support multiple language, manage infrastructure. And what is the disadvantage? If I'm talking about the disadvantage, then it's less control, customize limitation, behind the skin complexity. That is also the disadvantage. And what kind of interview question you may face? Beanstalk versus EC2. So EC2, that means in EC2 you have to be manually manage everything. Everything you have to manually manage. In case of Beanstalk, everything automatic. You not need to manage anything. Now I move to service 4, that is Amazon Lightsail. So buying a small ready-made shop. Just imagine you buying a small ready-made shop. Everything included: server, database, static IP, DNS, monitoring, monthly pricing. So everything. It is best for personal website, blog, WordPress, portfolio, learning AWS, small business. It's a best suite for that. What is the advantage? Very cheap, simple UI, predictable pricing, easy deployment. And what is the disadvantage? If I'm talking about the disadvantage, then it's a limited scalability, limited AWS integration, not enterprise ready. Now I move to interview question. What kind of interview question may interviewer ask? So when not used to Lightsail, so answer should be large enterprise. It is not suitable for the large enterprise application. And another things, if your application have a million of users, then also it's not good suitable. So it is not supported the million of users. For that it's not good. And for microservice, yes, definitely. In this case also we should not use Lightsail. Now I move to the service 5, that is Lightsail Database. So suppose you need a database, don't want RDS complexity. In RDS we have to manage many more things. So on that case, better approach. We may choose Lightsail Database. So it's very easy to manage MySQL, PostgreSQL, anything. Perfect for small projects. Yeah, advantage: automatic backup. You not need to take manual backup. Easy setup. You not need to take too much headache. Managed. You can easily manage. It's very easy to afford. Affordable. It's affordable. And disadvantage, if I am talking about, then not suitable for enterprise application. Limited scaling. This is the main disadvantage. Now I move to the last point, last service, that is service 6, AWS Batch. So imagine a teacher collecting 500 exam papers. Will she check one paper every second? No. Actually, she waits until all paper arrives, then checks all together. So that's called batch. It's best for machine learning, video rendering, scientific computing, financial analysis, genome sequencing, night jobs. And what is the advantage? Massive parallel processing, cost effective, automatic resource management. It's very helpful. This is the advantage. If I'm talking about the disadvantage, then not real time. First of all, it's not real time. Secondly, long running jobs. And thirdly, queue based. And I am now sharing the comparison table. I think it will be helpful to memorize. So what is the service? First of all, I am talking about the service Lambda. We think like Uber, Ola, Rapido, anything, and it's best for event driven approach. It's best for event driven. If we're talking about the ECS, then we think like a Docker manager, best for container. If I'm talking about the Elastic Beanstalk, then think like fully furnished apartment, best for web application. If I'm talking about the service Elastic Beanstalk, then fully furnished apartment, you best for web application. If you're talking about the Lightsail, then things like small shop. In this case, example is best for small website. Lightsail DB, it's things like small managed database, small apps, and if I talking about the batch, then batch service, then things like a factory, large batch jobs. So for interview purpose, I provide you the cheat code. If interviewer asks, I want to deploy, ask yourself this kind of question. Is it Docker? Then ECS. Need serverless? Then Lambda. Need simple deployment? Then Elastic Beanstalk. Need small website? Then Lightsail. Need schedule heavy processing? Then Batch. And lastly, I give you another memory trick. That means function means Lambda, container that is ECS, website that means Beanstalk, small apps that means Lightsail, heavy jobs then Batch. So now I give you another summary, final summary, easy to memorize purpose. If your requirement is something like that event driven code, you have to handle event driven code. On that case, best AWS services Lambda. If you have to handle the requirement Docker container, then best services ECS. If you have to handle the requirement deploy web application quickly, then what is the best choice? Elastic Beanstalk. If your requirement is something like personal website, you have to create some deploy some personal website blog. On that case, Lightsail is the best choice AWS service. And personal website blog, on that case, Lightsail. Similarly, small managed database, then Lightsail database. If you want to your requirement something large schedule processing, then AWS Batch is the right service. So what I want to say, AWS interview are not about memorizing services. They are about choosing the right tool for the right problem. If you remember just one thing from this video, remember this. There is no best AWS compute service. There is only the best service for a specific use case. That's exactly what interview want to hear. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your friends preparing for AWS or cloud interview. In this next video, we will compare ECS versus EKS versus Forget versus EC2. Another topic that frequently appears in interviews. Bye bye.